Hey guys, we're at the top of Mount Washington, the highest point in the Northeast, the second highest point in the Appalachian Mountains, and the highest point in New Hampshire.
A few short hours from America's largest city is Mount Washington. This peak is famous for a lot of reasons, and once you experience it, you'll understand why. What sets this mountain apart is how accessible it is. You don't need to be a mountaineer to reach its 6,288-foot summit. Thanks to the historic Mount Washington Auto Road and the iconic Cog Railway, almost anyone can experience its high alpine terrain without lacing up a pair of hiking boots. Few places in the US offers this kind of nature access to such a wild and unique environment. The mountain is home to some of the most extreme weather on the planet. In fact, Mount Washington held the world record for the fastest surface wind recorded at 231 miles per hour for 76 years until it was surpassed by a hurricane in Australia. And it was in this very summit hut and this weather observation station where this world record wind was captured. Our drive on the auto road takes you through evidence of brutal weather. We start off in typical northeast forests, but in 15 minutes, the trees around us are now windswept and short. They might be old, but they can't grow tall. Here's a sped up view of the climb that shows you the progression of tall trees down to smaller trees as we get higher, and these clips will be a good preview of the roads you'll encounter on the way up to the summit. 1,000 feet up, we ascend past the tree line into an area so harsh that no trees can survive. Here, we enter the alpine tundra, an environment more similar to the Arctic than the rest of New Hampshire. This is in fact one of the southernmost areas in North America to have this Arctic-like ecosystem. The road really isn't that challenging to drive if you take your time. It is pretty spectacular though. There are no guardrails or trees up here to obstruct your view, so you feel like you're driving straight to the heavens. The Mount Washington Road feels very similar to the Pikes Peak Highway or the Mount Evans Scenic Byway in Colorado. A half-hour drive from the base, we reach the summit. To our right, the Summit Visitor Center and Weather Station. This is also where the Cog Railway ends. A fun fact is even though the summit is a state park, the toll road up is on private land.
Welcome to the summit. We drove all the way to the top of Mount Washington. Now let's go hike up to the actual summit where the summit house is and take a look at the views.
Weather up here can be pretty variable. It was cloudy on the way up, but after an hour, it got sunny. In front of us is Mount Jefferson and the rest of the presidential range.
Coming up from sea level, I started jogging a little bit and I'm out of breath. Here's the summit area. There's the main visitor center up there, but up here you can see a lot of radio towers because of how high this place is. A lot of good transmission distance. This is still one of the windiest places in the world in the winter. This is extreme winter climate because of its northeast location. The warm Gulf Stream air from the Atlantic mixes with the cold Arctic air, and the front systems here are very strong. The mountain itself, 6,288 feet tall. Highest winds recorded here, 231 miles an hour. To this day, still holds the record for the highest winds recorded at a manned weather station. Here's the geodesic park. The Appalachian Trail also crosses through the summit, so those through hikers on the trail have to bag Mount Washington on their trek. Up here you'll find a visitor center next to the train station, the Cog Railway stop. The visitor center has a cafeteria, a gift shop, interesting plaques, live weather, a Cog Railway station, and rangers to give you advice for good hikes you can take here at the summit. Hikers can optionally buy one-way tickets to hike up and take the Cog Railway down. While it was a beautiful summer day with barbecues going on at the base, it was 39 degrees Fahrenheit at the top with the wind chill factor. And here's the weather station that recorded the record 231 mile an hour winds. Going downhill, The only thing you need to really keep in mind is to make sure to control your downhill speed, not using brakes, but using downshifting. For automatic transmission cars, there'll either be a low gear, or for CVD automatic transmission cars, there'll be a manual mode where you can put the car into a lower gear. That way you don't overheat your brakes and lose braking power on the way down.
When it comes to lodging, there are plenty of great options. You can stay at the iconic Mount Washington Hotel, find a cozy bed and breakfast like the Wayside, book a room in one of the charming towns nearby, or even camp right at the base for a true outdoor experience.
If you enjoyed this video about Mount Washington, learned something new, or if this video helped you with your trip planning, please be sure to add a like and subscribe to my channel for more travel content like this. It'll help my channel grow. Hope to see you guys on the next trip.